Hey, I'm Alex.
And I'm Mark.
And this is Complicated Things. Today, we want to talk to you about the importance of printing.
We're also going to introduce you to a very special friend of ours who lives in the corner, Vera.
Who lives in the corner?
Vera, the printer. You know I've called my printer Vera. We're going to spend some time hanging out in the corner with Vera today. We're going to make some prints, large format prints. We're going to print some stuff of mine that I've never seen printed before. And honestly, I'm genuinely excited to see how they're going to look on paper.
Obviously, it's the 21st century, and 99% of the imagery we see is on digital screen interfaces. So, as a result, printing is often treated like an afterthought for a lot of people, but it really shouldn't be.
When you look at a photo on your computer, you're not really seeing the photo. I mean, you are seeing the photo, but you're not really seeing the photo. You're probably not seeing it the way it was meant to be presented. There are a whole range of different factors that are affecting how it appears, from screen quality and size to the color and light settings on your device. So although we might be consuming most of our images on screens, to me, making a print gives me a much better idea of what my work actually looks like and if it's any good.
Yeah, there are also important professional reasons to practice printing. Let's say you're a wedding photographer. A big part of your package is going to be delivering X amount of photos. So you really need to make sure those photos look good printed as well as look good online. And the same obviously goes for anything you're doing in a print medium. There are colors and effects you can easily drop in through presets that are really popular, but they just don't exist in like a real printed space.
Correct.
And if you're trying to submit anything for print for a client and you use effects like that, it's just not gonna happen. So learning how to work in that medium is just a must.
Yeah, absolutely. When I present work on Instagram, I know that I can push it to a different place than I can if I'm actually making a print.
And you can get like shadowy detail that won't exist in a print, yeah. For sure.
But really, I mostly print because I love it, and I think it helps me hone my skills. This is all going to make a lot more sense when we go and look at some prints together. So you want to go get started?
Let's do it.
All right. Here's Vera. She is a Canon PROGRAF 4000 printer, and I absolutely adore her. And one of the reasons I adore her is because she does what she's supposed to do. She makes beautiful prints. I used to dread printing. If I had a couple of prints to do, just from experience, I knew I would come in the morning. It was going to take me half a day to get set up to make a couple of prints. I switched over to Canon a couple of years ago, and there was some innovations with this printer and this series. Number one, if you leave the printer just powered on, it agitates the ink, so you get less blockages. Number two, the print head's pretty special because it has some spare nozzles. So if it tries to do a clean print head and one of the nozzles is blocked, you don't have to throw away the print head. It will divert the ink to another nozzle. So 99 times out of 100, I come in, I turn it on, do a nozzle check, and she's ready to print. So it just makes technology what it should be to do its job. So that's pretty much why I love this printer. Over the last couple of years, she's become my friend. We have a relationship. I talk to her. I love watching her work. She just goes back and forward, nice and slow, and I find it very relaxing to watch. So first things first, this is my backlog of prints that I have to print. I'm going to find that Adam Driver print, and the first thing I'm going to do is open it in Photoshop. So here it is. It's on a second monitor. This monitor has been already color calibrated, as what I want to try and do is get what I see on my monitor to be as close color-wise to what I print on the printer. We're looking at something that's backlit, whereas a print, you have to light from the front, but we want to try and get it pretty close. Because I'm using a Canon PROGRAF 4000, I'm going to use a software that comes with it, and it is called Canon Print Studio Pro. And that's the software I'm going to print from. So I'll open that up. Okay, so I have my picture open up in the Print Studio Pro, and super quickly I'm going to go from the top, make sure I've got the right printer, make sure I have the right media type, the right paper size, roll paper, highest quality print, my color management. I'm going to use an ICC profile for this particular paper, which is polished rag by Hahnemuhle. I'm going to see everything kind of looks okay, and that is pretty much me ready to go. Going to press the magic print button. This gives me a little warning, tells me exactly what I'm doing. Ready to go. Press OK. And hopefully we're going to start to print. Whoa, our first print is ready. About another hour, we're going to have all our prints ready. Printing on a pro printer like this is not a fast process. I've got it on all the highest settings, so it really takes its time. So indulge yourself, enjoy the process, and yeah, enjoy the results. Woohoo! So we made 4 prints. This one is Dale Dickey, Wiz Khalifa, Serena Williams, and Adam Driver. It's just great to see stuff printed, right? I mean, number one, I haven't printed since COVID, so it's been a long time. I'm seeing so many faults with my retouching and my color, and I know I've got a ton of work to go back and do on these, but I'm just excited to see something on paper, to touch it. I actually like the smell of this paper, it's kind of weird. But yeah, so there we go. You want to start with a critique, Alex? What's wrong?
What?
Let's go. Let's do it.
Well, so this one, off, I can see it. There's some banding in it.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because it was the first print you ran.
I also think we need to open up some of the dark there.
Oh,
I think there's some
funny,
detail in there.
Because you know what I was thinking?
What?
Crush it, and then you'd be able to see the gray in the backdrop.
Yeah, I mean, this is what's so wonderful about printing, getting, you know, different opinions. Alex is usually wrong and I'm right, obviously, but just to show there are a lot of differing opinions. I'm digging the sharpness on that, though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Is that a high pass?
There's a little high pass on the eyes, how dare you. I need to pull that back a little bit.
No, it looks good. It looks good, I think.
Yeah,
I was just curious if...
We can pull that back a little bit. But yeah, it's a good start. It's a test print.
So this is Wiz Khalifa.
I love the smoke. I think it's a really good, it's a good start. This one I think is closest probably to where I would want something to be. I think I got a little too much yellow in the skin here.
I don't know, man, because it looks really good in the denim, right?
Yeah.
But...
It's a good start.
What was this for?
This was for, I think, a shoot for High Times. I love the detail in the hand there, and the focus in the hand. That works really nicely. So this is probably the oldest shot. This is taken, it's a digital shot taken, but it's you know, it's only a 22 megapixel camera.
Which is so ridiculous, right?
I know, it's just, yeah, I know you think of it as old, but this is an old, probably on my Contax, not on a Leica.
Ooh.
I can actually feel a little digitally thing going on there.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, so what year is this?
Oh man, it's got to be like 8 years ago.
So I was gonna say, you know, part of this and like the retouch literally can be the difference in ease of use in Photoshop, and it's come a long way.
No, definitely.
You know?
Definitely. I mean, listen, you can.
It's like you see that little cloudy bit.
Yeah.
Like that looks like, that could just be not having the right monitor or like the monitor you'd have now to do it.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. It's not. Listen, please, it's not killing me. I just do see a difference in quality. Also, I think I see a difference in quality between the contact lens and the Leica lens.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I'm just being. I mean, if you look at this, right?
That's why contacts lens sell for so cheap right now.
This is a Leica S system, and this is like my 120. This is my lens.
This is the portrait lens. Yeah.
And everything's kind of right composition-wise. I'm kind of freaking out a little bit over some of the colors and whatever.
What colors bother you though? I'm curious. Is it in little blemish color that bothers you, or is it just a little bit too orange, yellow?
No, I think this is a little gray.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha.
So this bit's a little bit gray. I think the lips look a little off, but I'd have to kind of go back and check. But what I'm so digging about this is you can actually physically count any hair on his face where it's sharp. And it's super, super, super sharp there. It's out there, and it falls out even at the edge of his eye there, which is it's my lens. It's the Leica S 120mm portrait lens. Beautiful. So this one is probably my favorite photo here, but I'm probably most disappointed in this print. I don't think it quite has the impact, but now I'm looking at under this light, which is better light. It's actually not as bad as I thought. I thought it was a little contrasty.
Oh no, man, that's nice.
I know the details. That's that same lens again. It's the Leica S 120 portrait lens, which I absolutely love. And
this your medium choice, right? You choose a paper that has a bit of a not gloss. I know you say it's not a gloss. It is a what?
1 second.
It's like a polish. So when you have a media type that holds a little bit of sheen to it, you can actually recover some shadow that you don't get in other papers. Mark and I differ on the paper we choose to print on.
Sure.
Like everything else. But this is something that gives you a lot of contrast.
Yeah. I mean, I choose it for that reason.
Photo rag.
Yeah. So I think it's probably worth mentioning that this is Hahnemuhle. It's a glossy fine art paper. It's called Glossy. It's photo rag Baryta 315 GSM.
So it's heavy.
It's a heavy paper, and obviously I've written. Stop, don't even think about it. But now I've opened the boxes. The bottom line is we knocked some printouts. In all honesty, probably what I would have done is do test strips for each piece and try and get it to where I wanted to be. I was maybe a little overconfident with my ability to knock these out in a oneer. They're not bad. They're acceptable, but they're
nice
not
print,
exactly where I want them to be.
And when you start printing, it is much more common to buy 11.5 by 8 paper.
Sure.
And then print in tiny test strips.
Right.
So one sheet of paper gets you a bunch of different variations.
We should definitely we should really do for you guys an episode and the process of getting it right. Today obviously was more about why we love to print, and in future episodes we can maybe go into a little more details about the different approaches.
Yeah, there's a lot of minutia that we haven't touched on at all.
Absolutely.
I'm sure we could spend a long time just talking about different papers.
But then everybody would fall asleep.
That's right, except for some nerds out there. Some of you people have to be nerds, and you will love it.
So, being a commercial photographer for a long time, I've definitely had my fair share of people putting text on my photos in a way I don't like, color treatments I don't like. So one of the few times I actually feel like an artist.
Oh, now you're an artist.
Okay. One of the few times I feel like an artist is when I make prints, because it's my art and I dig it. it also takes me back. I learned to process and to make prints in a black and white darkroom, and then I also learned to color print. So it's something nostalgic about it for me. It takes me back to, you know, taking the time to think about something and to process something. And it doesn't, so much of what we do now is disposable. And when you actually physically make a print on nice paper, you kind of want to keep it.
Yeah.
So that's really nice.
I mean, it has a different feeling to it, right?
Yeah.
This feels really different than you showing me this image really quickly on your phone.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think this is gallery material, but it's
No,
just
but it
nice
just
to
feels
see it. Yeah.
And it feels important, right? When you print something, you're kind of saying, this is something that needs to be looked at.
Yeah. I have a pep in my step. Thank you for your indulgence. Thank you for watching. I'm Mark.
I'm Alex.
Oh, and this is Complicated Things.
But how much longer do we have to keep introducing ourselves twice?
I don't know.
All right. Bye.